Okay, hello. Welcome to Fishing Adventures Northwest. And today we're going to be showing you some fishing knots. And just for demonstration purposes, this is basically my hook. This is the eye of my hook. My hook would be over on this end. One of these days I might actually get a hook, and then I can kind of show you guys with an actual hook depending on what we're tying. So without further ado, I'm just going to basically use this paracord, and we're going to use that to tie some knots here. Okay, so first knot is going to be the improved clinch knot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we can just go ahead and put it through the eye this way. Okay, and actually I'm going to kind of bring this down so we can kind of see it like this. Okay, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to tie it this way. If you're left-handed, you can reverse it and tie it the other way. Okay, so we're going to go here, and then you're basically you can either twist the hook around like so, but you want to basically hold this loop right here and then wrap it around. And for this demonstration purposes, I'm only going to do it like 3 or 4 times, well, probably 4 or 5 times, because it's just a big piece of paracord. Okay, so then you wrap it around, let's say 5 times, and then you bring it up through, okay, the loop you have at the bottom. And then after you do that, then you bring it back around and you pull it through that other loop above the bottom loop. Okay, and then of course you would wet your line here, you know, with saliva, or you know, if you just want to have like a little dish of water, but most people just use their saliva. And then you pull it tight and you pull it down, and that's what it looks like. Okay, I can show you from this side too. And so you would, you know, pull this end and this end here, kind of make sure that it pulls down. Usually if you wet it and you pull it down, it's going to slide down. That knot will slide down, and then you can just cut off your tag end here. So that is the improved clinch knot right there. Okay, okay, so now we're going to do the trilene knot. So the trilene, once again, this is the eye of your hook, and you know, it'll be better to show you with an actual hook sometimes, because this is obviously a straight, you know, it's like a bolt, kind of simulating a hook here, and it's just straight. You know, it doesn't curve one way or the other, right? And so some hooks actually bend up, and you need those for like egg loops and snell, you know, tying a snell knot and all that kind of stuff. So I will get that in the future, and then I'll show you guys how to do those knots too. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and tie a trilene knot. So we're going to go ahead and go around, go back through, and have this loop and hold this loop right here. Okay, with your thumb and your forefinger, go around about 4 times, 5 times, or 10 times if you have an actual fishing line. And then you're going to come back up through that loop that you made, and then you're going to pull it through, and then you're going to pull it tight, and you're going to wet your line, you know, like you normally would, and pull it tight like so. And then you'd pull, you know, your tag end, pull it tight, you know, make sure that you moisten it here and pull it tight all the way, and then cut off your tag end. Okay, that is a trilene knot. It looks like that. Okay, it's kind of wrapping around your hook there, so good knot. So now let's go ahead and do let's do an Orvis knot. Okay, Orvis knot was created by a guy named Becker, who he won a contest, actually, a fishing knot tying contest put on by the company Orvis, which we all know they make you know, some really nice waders and other things, jackets and whatnot. The company Orvis put on a contest, and Mr. Becker won it because he created a knot. And here's the Orvis knot that he created. So you put it through. Okay, you can wrap it around, and you're going to go underneath like so, and then you're going to go through here, and then basically you create this top loop, and now you go through that 2 times. 1, 2. Okay, and then of course you want to pull the tag end and pull this down, so you can kind of pull your tag end and the other end at the same time, and make sure that you cinch it down tightly. And there you go. There's the Orvis knot right there. And then of course you'd cut off your tag end as usual. Okay, Orvis knot. All right, bowline knot. Up through the hole, around the tree, and back down through the hole, and cinch it tight. There is the bowline knot. Very good knot. This knot you can use for camping, tying things, just any kind of knot. The bowline is a very, very useful knot. Everyone should know the bowline knot, which is kind of like when you're tying to like a post or like a rod going across and you want to hang a rope down off of it. Or maybe if this was just like a post or something, you use, I mean, you could essentially on there kind of tie your boat there or whatever, or even if this was like this. So basically around here, back up, around again, and then through the hole right next to the other one. And then as you see, it cinches down or clinches down like that. So there you go. Let's see it from this side. Okay. And now I can show you how to do a surgeon's knot, and to make a loop on the end of your line here. If you want to do a drop loop, sometimes if you do a perfection loop, that's the best one to connect a loop to loop for your leaders, and sometime I'll show you that. But right now this is just a real simple double surgeon's knot basically. So you just kind of make a loop here at the end, and then you just wrap it around and through like so, and then you go through again through that loop, and then you pull it tight, and you want to make sure that you have your kind of loop as big as you want it. You know, that's important to kind of get it where you want it. So there you go. So that's the surgeon's loop. Basically, it's they might even call it maybe a double surgeon's loop because you're going through twice. And so you want to go through twice just to make sure it's nice and tight and it's not going anywhere. Okay. And so that is just like a regular loop at the end of your line there. And you can put weights on it, hooks on it, you know, connect it to another loop if you want. I recommend the perfection loop, connecting loop to loop, because it's just straighter and a better looking loop actually. This one obviously is used by surgeons everywhere. So now, here we go. We're gonna do a drop loop, okay? So a drop loop is to put a loop in the middle of your line so that you can put weights, hooks, you know, anything you want to drop right off of like kind of the middle of your leader essentially. So once again, you get a loop and you make it like that, okay? And then you just start, you kind of hold both sides of it here, and then you start wrapping the center and just wrapping it over itself about 3 times or so. And you pull the bottom loop through, and you make it about the size you want it. And yeah, basically you want to cinch this down, you know, with your regular line and of course this line too. There we go. Okay, now it's actually came together pretty good. So there you go. So that is your drop loop on your main or your leader. Basically you could, basically that's kind of where you're going to use it for weights or hooks or just whatever you want to drop down there. but you might even connect another leader with a loop-to-loop on that. And so you could go ahead and do, I can attempt a perfection knot here, perfection loop. Let's go ahead and try a perfection loop for you. Okay, so perfection loop. Loop it around. Loop it around. Oh, you got to go around it, by the way, underneath of the line. And then around it, and then underneath the line again. So then you got these two loops here. And so I'm gonna go under, over, under, over. And then you're gonna take your loop, which is right on from this side, basically from the first loop that you made, and you're gonna pull it through. And then you're gonna pull it through like that. Okay, boom. All right, and there is your perfection loop. It's just got a really nice straight, where can I show you the knot there? Really nice straight knot. It just does like a perfect straight down drop loop. So that is actually better than the surgeon's knot. It just drops it straight down. It's called a perfection loop. And so, yeah, it is pure perfection. All right, and I don't know who calls it that, but that's what it's called. So anyway, there it is. Okay, all right, and you know, that's all I have for you today. You know, if you like what you see, just feel free to subscribe, feel free to comment, and you know, if you have any other knots you want me to show you, then I can do that. All right, so thanks for watching, everybody. That's all I have for you right now. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching Fishing Adventures Northwest. All right, peace.